Mawson, how would you describe his debut?
Very good. We always knew that he was going to go to the game and give it his best, and he definitely did that. He was safe under the high ball and carried the ball strong, so it was a really good start for him. He's only played 8 games of NRL, Rugby League, so really smart young man, and picks up things really quickly. So, where he gets to, it'll be really interesting.
The contract situation, it sort of sounds like a headline, but just explain that to us.
Well, it's sort of a tricky one because there's someone coming from rugby union, and we're hoping that he, could adapt and play NRL. But there's always that question mark. He's never played rugby league as a kid, so sometimes you have a bit of. Some of the boys play a little bit of both. Being an outside back and watching his skill set in sevens sort of lend itself to being an outside back in rugby league, but as I said, he's a really smart young man, and he adapted really well, and for only playing 6, 7, 8 games in New South Wales Cup, he's picked up all the technical side of stuff, positional play really well.
Over on the other wing, Flano, CT's back.
Yep.
What does he bring to this side after a bit of an absence?
A finish and a powerful carry. It's been frustrating for Christian. We started the season in the trials really well, and then scored some tries. I think he was leading try scorer for the first month of the competition, and had some hamstring injuries. So probably could have played him last week, but the extra week is what we planned on. So we didn't want to bring him back a week too early.
How about just that energy as well? We know how he fires the boys up. How much of a boost is that?
Yeah, he's that sort of character. He's always high in energy. You see him running in if there's a big play in the middle part of the field or on the other side of the field than he is, and he's always running in and supplying that enthusiasm and energy. And we're lucky to have him back.
And is the coach letting off the leash when it comes to try celebrations?
He's been told there's a few boundaries around it. Let's be in front. As I said, a few boundaries around it, but who knows what I get.
Are they confidential?
Yes, yeah. Who knows what we get there? So, look, I hope he scores. That's a bonus for us. But the post-try bit, we'll see what happens there.
Right, just on the other side of the coin, Tyrell Sloan misses out this week to accommodate CT coming back. What do you need to see from Tyrell to get him back in this first grade side?
Well, it's not just Tyrell. I think we've got, probably a little bit different than previous. Well, just like me talking about last year, is that we've got competition for spots. In our forwards, we've got Emre and Hame, Saleh coming back from injury, and they've got some other forwards there that are really pressing to come back into first grade, and the same in the outside backs. Everyone's held accountable, and you've got to perform well, and Tyrell's no different. So CT comes back in, he's got to perform well, and those two wingers know that he's just there waiting to come back, and it provides a good atmosphere or good culture, winning culture for the first team.
Do you expect that Tyrell's got it in him to get that spot back if he works hard?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's a talented footy player.
And do you apply that next man up philosophy to a little lesser extent to Lachlan as well?
Yeah.
We've got a third half on standby.
Yeah, Lockie's been, him and Jonah Glover have been outstanding in reserve grade. They're the class above, and they're ready to play first grade. We knew that. Lockie had a few things to tidy up in his game from the start of the season, and he's doing that.
Just on Tyrell, what have you seen from his attitude in terms of when you told him he wouldn't play this week? How do you respond to that?
It's just only been a couple of days, so we'll see. They've got to buy New South Wales Cup, so he doesn't get to play this weekend, unfortunately. So, he'll be back on. As I said, he's played a lot of first grade. He's got some things to work on, very similar as we just said to Lockie. So go back and work on him, and he'll be back.
Whenever I've spoken to him, he seems like someone who is quite coachable. Like he seems pretty honest about what he needs to be better at. And is that how you sort of find him? Yeah, he's a good kid. As I said, there's no question marks about any of those players, about their character or their effort and attitude. We've just got some players now that we can pick and choose. We've got some quality coming through, so that's a good position to be in as a club. We get to see, I guess, two of the really young, exciting halves of the competition going against each other this week with Isaiah Katoa from the Dolphins and Larkin for you guys. What have you made of Larkin's sort of the last few weeks in the team since coming in?
Yeah, he's adding things to his game week in, week out. I thought last week he carried the ball strong. He took the line on a few times and nearly pulled out the other side. So that was a good sign. And as I said, his defence is solid. So he's 19 years old and getting better every week.